Hello, this is an assessment in transit of a Bluthner Style 6 grand piano, which is 5'7" long, 170 centimetres. The Style 6 has aliquot scaling, and that means it's got an extra string which resonates together with the other three strings. If you look there, you can see one extra string higher up than the others, so if you play a note, there's an extra string resonating with it. Now, it doesn't make an awful lot of difference. It's just gives it a slight bit of interest. Next to this piano, we happen to have the same length of piano, the Style 5, without the aliquot scaling. There really is not a lot to choose between the two of them. Someone's put some extra red felt there that really should be taken away. That's got the correct Bluthner blue felt otherwise, and the soundboard looks in extremely good condition. Bluthner soundboards tend to keep pretty well, and Bechstein tends to crack a lot more than Bluthner. Now, the piano's been restrung, I think, looking at the colour here, probably about 25 years ago, as the copper's not quite as it was originally, but the tuning pins are nice and tight. I've tested those. You can also tell it's been restrung because it's got slightly bigger tuning pins than it would have if it was the original tuning pins. Looking at the bass strings here, it's a good job, but it's not quite authentic Bluthner. This piano next to it has authentic Bluthner strings. You see what we call coning there. This one has doesn't have coning. Also, you see the tenor strings here. That's how the Bluthner strings should be finished off. And on this Style 6, they're just standard strings. Having said that, the bass strings are very pleasant sounding. This is the piano next to it. Slightly richer sounding, but then that's always the way, because Bluthers are such a well-made piano that when you restring it, it's really, really difficult to maintain the same richness. Partly also because the original bass string, as shown here, is a very high tensile, and very likely to break. So it's very common that they do break, and then you have to restring anyway. The tone in the treble's good. The damping's slightly off there compared to the piano next to it. Again, it's just slightly warmer. This ivory keyboard here is in extremely good condition. Could do with buffing. It's a little bit dirty, but otherwise is really excellent. The Style 6 has a patent action, as they always do, unless it happens to be changed. This is a modern action in the piano. This is Bechstein, but a modern action. It was actually changed from a tied action, but that's a typical modern action. The Bluthner can be made to have a modern action as well. The regulation is generally quite good. The hammers are reaching quite far before they set off to this quite far to the string before they set off. Could be improved slightly, actually, probably brought a little bit closer, but generally pretty good. Bluthners are often very bad on this and need a lot of regulation. Hammers are reasonably worn. They can be refaced. They have been refaced once already, I think. So there's not a huge amount of hammer left to do that, but the sound is reasonably good. It could be made a little bit more varied. The tone could be a little bit brighter, and therefore you get more variation of tone throughout the piano. Also could tone the unicorda pedal, which would make it sound again more variety of tone. Now, last of all, is the casework on the piano. It's quite varied. If we look around the other side, we're going to see here at the top, you can see the sun's got to it, and around this side the sun's definitely got to it and dried it out completely. Now, that could be repolished. This is our polishing room, where we actually have a Bluthner that we are repolishing. This is done with about 30 coats of French polish. After polishing, it's then waxed to give an antique finish, so that it brings out the best in the grain. Now, this age of Bluthner just has a wonderful veneer. The whole piano is a marvellous piano. Now, the grain on this Style 6 is equally spectacular and really special when it's finished off. So that's a Bluthner Style 6 grand piano in for assessment in transit. It's a very beautiful piano. The Style 6 is one of my favourites, and one thing I noticed about it was the pitch of the piano. It's very flat. About 7 beats flat. Now, it's got relatively new strings, so it shouldn't be a problem pitch raising it. I suspect it's not been tuned much since the new strings were put on. Now, in this area here, It'd only make a lot of difference if we reface the hammers, ideally changing them, but that's going to completely change the tone of the piano. Can also get a better weight, but I don't know if this is a job that it change the piano so much really if we do that. But it's a beautiful piano. Thank you very much for listening.